So you clicked on this video because you're interested in purchasing a new construction home in Arizona. Well, are they worth it? And what aren't they telling you? In this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of purchasing a new construction home. And also at the end, we'll share some tips from professional realtors and also from a personal experience because we bought a home 2 years ago, a new construction home. So let's get started.
But before we start, I'm Sean.
I'm Betty.
We're a husband and wife real estate team here in the Phoenix metro area.
If you're thinking of relocating to Arizona, or if you live here already and you want to purchase a home in Arizona, let us know. You have all of our contact information below. You can text us, email us, or schedule a 15-minute Zoom call. We would love to make your transition to a new home or to Arizona a smooth one. So we've helped many families purchase a new construction home in the Phoenix metro area. And these are the things that we kind of go over with them before we go into a construction community. So just they are aware and kind of prepared for what to look out for. So we wanted to share it with you guys today. So let's get started.
Yeah, we have a pros and cons list and some keys that we want to go over. But first, before we start with the pros and cons list, I want to talk about, the Phoenix metro area specifically for this video. We do also help Northern Arizona if you're looking in Flagstaff, Payson, anywhere in those areas as well. There's a lot of opportunities up there as well for new construction. That's a different topic for a different day though. But Phoenix metro, when you look at the map and hopefully they pop up the map here, most of the builds, the new construction communities are going to be in the outer skirts. So you still have some in the heart of Phoenix, but you're going to see a lot in the outer skirts. And that's very important when we talk about the pros and cons because where you buy is super important.
Yes. So you have the outer skirts, you have more options as well for new construction. So that's when, the price points are a little bit better and you can find something that fits within your budget.
So let's start with the pros. You want to start pros or cons first?
Cons. Let's go with the negative first. Let's get that out of the way.
All right.
So the biggest thing for me.
Okay. For you, this is
for me, and I do share it with our clients as well, because this is important because we bought a new construction community 2 years ago, is living through construction. So especially if you get into the community early, you can be in construction for like 2 to 3 years. So that means a lot of dust, a lot of construction crew in and out of the community. Sometimes the common areas will not be even open for
if you're early
and if you're early enough, like really early. So those are the things to kind of consider. Like, are you okay with just having to drive around your trucks and so many people in the community, dust and everywhere, they're digging.
And the other part to that is how close, your street could be good, which would be great if it's all built out already. But if behind you, in front of you, they're still building, you're hearing them work. In Arizona, they start early.
The noise too, and they blast music as well. So.
Yeah, I don't blame them. If I'm working, I want music. And they'll blast their music at 5, 6 a.m. Especially summertime, they do start early because it gets super hot. So I think they start around 5, right? Yeah,
they start really early. So that's something to kind of consider. And that's I think that's a big con.
For you,
for me, it is.
The dust is tough.
The dust is tough. And then you just feel like it's not complete yet. So
it doesn't feel like a neighborhood.
It doesn't. Like when you're driving through and you have people over, it just feels a little incomplete until the majority of it is done or your street or your section is done. So that's something that is number one.
Okay, for you. So with that, I'll piggyback. It's not my biggest con, but it kind of goes into what you're saying. The other con is limited, mature landscaping in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So if you're new in the neighborhood, the beauty of Arizona is, man, I love how they build out their communities. They do a lot of landscaping, trees, cool stuff to make the community feel really nice, right? But if you're starting out, they don't bring in big trees and ship them and plant them. They're starting from the ground up. Well, not ground up, but they plant the trees. But so you're not getting the full, you don't feel like
tree in front of your house or the bushes grown there. They usually look like this, little small bushes in the trees. And so you have to wait for it to grow out.
So it just feels like you're just not in a developed neighborhood yet because everything is just still.
It ties into feeling incomplete. Also, one more thing about the being new and in construction is also as they're digging, a lot of pests come out, like, scorpions.
And we've referenced this in previous
yes,
videos.
we have. But that's something to also consider as well.
Yeah, that's a topic for
Get your house sprayed and you should be good.
Okay, the other, I think one would be depending, right? So it would be wait times for the build, right?
Yes.
So if they're starting out, they typically don't have a ton of new inventory to quick move in. Sometimes they do, like some new build companies, they have a few quick move-ins, but not like ready to go right away. You're going to have to typically wait 6 to 12 months. So if you want a new construction home and you're like, hey, I want to build it from scratch, the wait time is going to be 6 to 12 months. Now, it's not like a big con because it's expected and you know what you're getting into. But if you're like, hey, I need a house right now, new construction may not be the option unless they have stuff ready to go. So that's one that is for sure.
If you're on a time crunch, if they do have a move-in ready, that's your option. If not, it's not your.
So the next one I would say would be upfront costs that you really don't kind of see unless you really get in there and start running numbers. So
yes, you think that, you're buying a new construction, you're not going to come out of pocket with a lot of stuff, but
and it's not really out of pocket, and it depends. Every builder is different. So there's some caveats here. Some require a lot of deposits up front. So you're going to have an earnest deposit, and they're typically, so let me explain it to you guys like this. Sorry. Anytime you do a real estate transaction, you have an earnest deposit, right? That goes to a third-party title company here in Arizona. Now, if you're doing a residential resale homes that are just existing, buy and sell, whatever you see out there for sale signs, they're going to require earnest deposits. Typically, there's no rule, but it's typically around 1% of purchase price. So if it's a $500K home, it'll be a $5,000 earnest deposit. Okay. But so I just had one where the house was, I think it was like $425,000, great house, good, like a little bit further out there. And the deposit was $10,000, right? So it's like 2.5%. I've seen 15, 20,000. That's just the deposit. Then you're going to have lot premiums. So if you're building from scratch, well, even if you're not, they're going to put the lot premium in there. Lot premiums are, hey, where's the property? Is it a corner lot? Corner lot's going to be more expensive. So every lot has a premium. Typically, it could be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and then your corner lot will be 10,000. But if you want to back, the golf course, that could be 20,000, 30. I've seen $100,000 lot premiums, right? So it really depends. So that's upfront cost. The other one is the upgrades in the home.
Yes.
You don't get that house that's shown in the model like that.
Yeah, you walk through the model and you're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. You see yourself living there. It doesn't, all of it is just, a lot of it is upgraded.
Yeah.
So
you're going to have to pay, right?
You don't even get ceiling fans. You just get the hookup for it, but you got to get the ceiling fans and install them yourself or have someone install it.
Yeah. And if you're building from scratch, and then a lot of these new construction home communities have design centers, which are great. You go in, it's super fun. That's like the funnest thing to do. You go, you're picking out all your stuff, and then you could pick 100,000 worth of upgrades to your home, right? But it's fine if it's like a $500,000 home, your budget is 600, you put 100,000 of upgrades, 600,000. Some new construction communities, which fairly so, nothing wrong with it, they require deposits, not just the earnest, on top of it, the options that you pick. So if you pick 100,000 worth of options, they may require 10% of that as far as another deposit, right? Because rightfully so, they're buying all the material, they have all the permits, they want you to have skin in the game. So it makes sense. So that's something to watch out for. That's the other one. I don't know what number we're on, but we're going to keep going. The next one is HOAs.
Yeah.
I will say 98% of new construction communities have HOAs, especially the big neighborhoods. If it's a regular, big builder like D.R. Horton, Lennar, Toll Brothers, Ashton Woods, they're going to be in HOA communities, right? Yeah. If you get these custom builders, one-offs, you're not going to have HOAs. Yeah. And why we put this as a con is some people think HOAs are cons because that's an extra, monthly payment. Yeah. HOAs can go up, they can be expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why we put it in the con category.
Yes. And also the rules.
Rules, yes. Yeah,
you can't do whatever you want. Like even in the landscaping up front, you are required to have certain amount of bushes or trees, so they're involved in the exterior, look of the house.
Not the interior.
Not the interior, but the exterior.
Unless you're doing some crazy stuff in the interior, I would think they would say something. Like if you're doing a meth house, they probably would say
yes. What? That's not what I was thinking. Okay.
That's where my mind went.
Okay. Well, not me. I was thinking maybe you're adding like an extension to the
Well,
house
that too.
or something like that.
That too for the meth house.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you're extending for the meth house, it could. So they won't like that. The paint colors.
Well, your neighbors don't like that either. It's not. Then you have a bigger problem.
So the HOA, that's where it comes in handy, I guess. That would be a positive if they're going to stop you.
Well, yeah.
So that would be
The police can stop you.
true. So that's a con. So the last one, and there's a few more, but I think these are the major ones that there's always little ones that pop up, but I think these are the ones that we have seen as far as some cons, is the landscaping cost. You want to touch on that one?
Oh, yes. So a lot of the new builds come, they do your front yard, but they don't do your backyard. So you get your house on a dirt lot. So you have to spend the money. And especially if your lot is big, like we spent $17,000 on our backyard and we just did basic, like we didn't go anything crazy. Like if
So that wasn't a big lot either.
I think it's a decent size, but I think it's good. But, that's just like, that's an extra cost unless you want to just have a dirt for a very long time. But if you have dogs, if you have kids, like that's not,
We always recommend our clients getting that done right away.
Yeah, getting it done kind of before or like around the time you're moving in. Not before. Of course, you can't do it before you close on the house.
Well,
but
some new build companies and communities, they allow it to be done. They have packages.
Oh, yes.
Where they will do it, but you're just going to pay a lot more.
Yeah.
And they'll add it to the loan, which is good, but you're paying retail and you can't shop around. You're paying at the highest, in my opinion.
Yeah. So they have like their partners.
So that's a
kind of go through.
We have a lot of experience in new construction homes. Like we said, we're going to get into the pros right now. So we bought a new construction home. We help families every year get into new construction homes. I've worked in new construction years ago. Did not go well for many reasons. I learned a lot as far as the process, what you can get away with, what you can't get away with, which kind of gets me in trouble a lot. So we do have a lot of experience in new construction homes. So if you do have any questions about new constructions here in Arizona, just anything from A to Z about new construction homes, reach out to us. We'd really love to help because we
comment.
Yeah, leave a comment.
To you.
Yeah,
we're friendly. We don't bite.
All right, so should we get into the pros?
Yes, let's go through them.
Okay, what is your number one pro? We have a list of 6 here. So what is your top, let's say?
Top would be the low maintenance.
Okay.
You're buying a new home. It's new. No one has lived in it. It's, fairly clean. I mean, construction debris, but it's you're the first person that's going to be living in this home. Also, AC is new, roof is new, like those things that are big ticket items.
You don't have
they're not going to, hopefully, unless they put like cheap stuff, which happens, but that's when the warranty kicks in.
We'll talk about that.
But yeah, everything is new. You don't really have to worry about anything going out, especially in the first 5 to 10 years.
And that's like the thing with home ownership, right? There's always costs to it, right?
Yes.
And maintenance costs and all these things. The beauty with new construction is it eliminates a lot of it. Not all of it, never all of it, but a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
So that to us is a big pro. Now, for me, the biggest pro is the incentives they offer.
Yeah.
Right? So depends. Now, they have incentives on if you're building a house from scratch. So you pick out the lot and you're like, hey, I want this lot. This is the house I want to build. Here are the options. They do typically have incentives on those, whether it's $20,000 in upgrade options or $10,000 towards closing costs, whatever it is. Every builder's different. Reach out to us. We get the scoop on all the incentives in all the communities. But if you're buying a home that is a quicker move-in, like, hey, it's going to be ready in a month, right? They will offer a lot of times right now lower interest rates.
Yeah, so more of an aggressive incentive for you.
And if
they're trying to sell it.
And if it's been sitting there for a little bit, like they've been trying to get rid of it, that's when you can really get aggressive. And that's when I love to play. That's when I like to really get in there and be like, oh, it's listed at 500. We'll offer for 25. And they'll say no, right? But we will do that. So that to me is the incentives they offer. It's fun to play with, washer, dryer, things like that you could add in, which we like to do. What is next for you?
Customization, especially if you're building out. You can pick your cabinet colors, countertops, like all of this stuff, like paint colors, handles, like all of these little things that kind of make your home, like you kind of put your touch on it. You can change the layout, of course, but that's kind of like where you can kind of play floors, if there's a carpet and stuff. So that's where like, you know, the fun is on the bigger items.
Yeah.
So kitchen, like, you know, closet.
Yeah.
Not closet.
And every builder's different, right? Some have just like few options to pick.
Yeah.
Some you could really like, hey, we want to build, this is the model they have, the layout. You could add a 4th bedroom. You could add this, you could do. So it just depends. Every builder's different, guys. So this is not a one size fits all. So again, if you have questions, reach out to us, but so customize. I like that. For me, the next one would be probably for peace of mind, the warranties.
Yeah.
Right. So new builds, they offer warranties, right? All of them. Now, every builder is a little bit different, but for the most part, how they like to, we'll just kind of give a generic one, for instance. So they have a 1-year warranty and they call it bumper to bumper, kind of like how you have your 1-year car warranty, bumper to bumper. So anything inside, anything happens, stucco chips, you know, roof goes out, whatever, AC, anything that goes out, typically in the first year, what happens is like before the year end, we recommend you do an inspection on the property before your year is up. You see what's wrong with it. You send in the ticket to the warranty company with the builder. They'll come out and fix all the items. So that's a huge plus. They also have a 10-year roof, I think 5-year AC. I think it's just, I forget the numbers, but it's like a 1, 2, 5, 10. So I think your foundation is 2 years, that in case something happens, they'll repair that. You have your roof covered, your AC. So a lot of things are covered, and your appliances.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Those are a good one.
Yeah, it is like it gives you peace of mind on top of like, you know, it's new and, you know, hopefully nothing goes wrong. But the beauty of that for the year is that I like that it's a year because you have time to live in the house and see all the improvement. Because when you do a walkthrough before you close on the house, you're not going to see, yes, they go around with you and they tape all the stuff. You say, oh, this is, you know, chipped. I want this fixed. I want that fixed. But you're not going to see it all until you live in it. Yeah. Then you can kind of like, you're walking around, you're like, oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, I didn't see that one. So you can kind of like note those. And then at the end of, you know, when the year is up, you can give them a list of stuff.
Yeah. So that's the cool part about new construction homes. Because I can't say how many times in the summer we've closed on properties with clients. Everything checked out. We did our walkthroughs. We had inspections. The day after closing, C goes out. You're stuck, right? Unless you had a home warranty, even those, different topic for
you have to also pay for that.
Yeah, regardless.
Someone is going to pay for it. Either you or the seller.
So for me, I guess next one would be modern features, right? What does that mean? For me, the efficiency. They build these homes. Now, a lot of people say, which I get it, they're building them a little bit cheaper material, all that fun stuff. But they do build them more efficient, especially here in Arizona. That's very important.
Yeah.
Because if you have a home that's not efficient, we've been in homes built in the 90s, 2-story homes. You go upstairs, like in the summertime, it's like the AC's on and it just feels hot.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't built efficiently. Now with the way they're building these 2-story homes, especially where they have like, what is it called? Where the sun reflects on it. They put these things in the attic. So the sun is kind of like not coming in the house. They put the heat and then just more efficient. So your bill, you know, like I think our bill here, is it cheap?
Do you even know what our bill?
No, I don't. So
we have a 3,500 square foot house. Our AC bill, like in the dead summer, is like $300.
Is it
and we blast 350.
Okay.
I mean, in August probably.
And then we have a Tesla. We have a charger which we charge every day.
We have 2 electric
vehicles.
EVs.
Yeah.
And we put the AC on 68,
69
at night.
And we work from home a lot.
Yeah,
so we're home, you know, so the kids, they leave everything on, of course. They never turn anything off. So
light.
Yeah. How much was it in our previous home?
Well, that was like 2,000 square foot. I would say I have seen like 300, 325.
Okay. So, but that's a 2,000 square foot house, single level. In the summer, $300 a month.
Yeah.
And we had a brand new AC unit, great, everything. Yeah. This home, $3,500.
And it was also a brick home.
Which is better.
Helps.
Yeah.
Keeping the, you know.
So they are building these more efficient, basically.
Yeah, they're very efficient.
So with that, they also, smart home technology, a lot of these homes, they're giving you the Ring doorbell camera, the front door entry keypad, right? Security system too. Just all these cool things. They have Alexa, one of my friends, Seneca, he got built-in speakers everywhere connected to his Bluetooth. Just all these fun things where, I know, I didn't do a good job negotiating our deal, I guess. No, they didn't even offer. Yeah, they don't offer in this community. So, but it's just things that you don't have to worry about, and it's done for you. So that's a good thing. And also the open concept layouts. A lot of these homes are building up, they're open concept. They're
you have to knock down walls, stuff. It's all like just done.
The Scottsdale house we had it's built in the 60s, 70s.
60s.
Yeah, there's just walls everywhere. You got to really...
Like you walk 2 steps and you're in the kitchen, you walk 2 steps, you're in the bedroom. And it was that was like 1,200.
But still, there's walls you have to knock down to make it a livable open concept. Here, you don't have to do, a lot of these newer homes, they're making them like that. So that's why I like it. Okay, so last one, community amenities.
Oh yeah, this is I think my favorite too. It depends on the community. Some of them, like, we just did a video on a new build community and they had like beautiful pool, like great, like just rec center. They had like a party room, like you could have a wedding there, like, or like a big party or conference or whatever. They had a gym in the community. Like, those are the things that I like about new build communities, is that they have that stuff and they're actually really nice and you can use them and enjoy them. And they're new. So it's not like,
A big thing for us, a lot of the communities, our community especially, has walking trails, which is great because we like to go out for walks. Parks. A lot of, I think every community here has parks.
No, our Tempe community didn't have one. It was a public
new
park.
Communities.
I'm sorry, yes.
So new construction, they are building parks in them. So those are cool. You have a park, like walking distance. Yeah. Typically, it depends where you are in the neighborhood, how big it is too. Yeah. But typically, you have parks, all that stuff. I think it's a great added bonus to have rather than the older communities. Nothing bad about them, but our Tempe community, which was built in the 70s, we had to drive to the park.
Yeah. Oh, you could walk, but
the 2 kids, we're not walking. It's a mission.
Yes.
To get there. Yeah. So that was the pros and cons of.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and if you have some pros and cons that we missed, all you fellow realtor trolls, if you have any other stuff that we missed, please throw them in there. No, all good, all love there. So now some keys, a couple of keys, okay? Because tips, keys, however you want to say it. I think you said tips, I say keys, all good.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I think the biggest one, I'm trying to think. Okay, I think they're all pretty big, but I'll start with one, is making sure you understand what is included and what is not. Because you did mention this briefly.
Oh, yes.
And
I know where you're going.
So it's funny. I'll tell a quick story. We just closed on a new build community with one of our clients. Great guy, man. Just super young guy, super fun. We went through the process with him, helped him along the way. And we talked a lot. I mean, it was kind of quick because it was a quicker move in and it was a fast process. He texted me literally a couple days ago. He's like, hey man, like I've been here for like 2 weeks or a week. And he's like, and I was like, I think we talked. I was like, I think we talked about it. But again, so much information happens so fast with new construction homes where, in the models, they have the lights, the ceiling fans, all that stuff. But when you buy it, they just have it capped and you have to add that stuff like Betty mentioned earlier. So you want to make sure you go through that, what is included and what's not, especially when you're building, right? Because recessed lighting may not be included. Where's the tile flooring included? Where is it not included? Because typically carpet is all over. So all these little things, you want to know what is included and what is not. And yes, you may say, oh, well, Sean, you missed your client's thing. You messed it up. Well, yes, we're human. Things happen, right? And that's why it's important to make sure we go through everything with due diligence to minimize these
situations.
The other one, I think this is a good one. They're great investments if in the right location.
Bought in the right location.
Yes, and that's why you want to look at what building, what construction, what development is happening around that community, right?
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you have a price point where you have to stay within and it's like, hey, I'm going to have to be further out. There's not much development happening. That's okay. That doesn't mean it's bad investment. It just means it may just take longer to get a lot of equity. But if you buy strategically in an area where there's a lot of development happening, now prices will be a little bit more expensive typically in those areas, but that, like, I just helped the client here buy in Mesa, and right down the street, they're building the Cannon Beach, which already is finished. And then they have, what else here? The Facebook plant, data center, the range, so a lot of things that are happening. So they're going to build a lot of equity pretty fast, I would say.
And even if there's not, like, we helped our family buy a house in Chandler, which is new build in Chandler. where it wasn't even, it's a townhome. It's not even like a single family home. So they bought it in 2019 for, 2020 for 297. And now it's worth over 400,000. 450. So it's like,
and it's a townhome, which townhomes typically
in a developed area, like it's kind of developed, like nothing else is really coming over there. So there is kind of built in, incentive in that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the last tip, and there's a lot of tips, right? When we work with clients, we like to sit down and really go over it because it really depends on what you're looking for at the end of the day, right? And we're going to tailor it around what you're looking for.
I think we've turned a lot of clients to new builds that they weren't even thinking about a new build. And then as they hear about like the incentives, like the way, like the new builds, like the purchase process and everything is, and when they walk through a model, they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to be here. So
yeah,
I think we're really good at that.
Yeah, we like it. We bought a new build, right? And
that's the way to go. I don't know.
It is depending
on your, what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But
the other tip is I think work with a strong agent that knows the products and knows. So here's the thing with new construction homes, they're really tough to find. It's like a secret, like back page. I don't know, like some periods just so much
driving by one and you see it and you see like models.
Or you're getting targeted ads,
ads, like you really don't.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
You can't, Zillow.
Yeah, and you can't find them on Zillow typically, right? There's ways. So working with someone who really understands, who has a lot of relationships with builders. We have a lot of relationship with builders and the salespeople. So like we get heads up of like, hey, we got a community coming up, blah, blah, blah. Let your people know. So we get a lot of stuff like that. Also knowing how the process works is really important. So I've worked in new construction homes. We've sold new construction homes. So we bought new construction homes.
Things could go wrong. Like the build can take longer, especially like 2020, 2021, like the build was taking so much longer than, before. So it could happen that, materials and stuff, they get delayed and things could go wrong in your build too. So you need someone who's an expert who can kind of navigate that and help you and be on your side.
Yeah, because you do need someone on your side when it comes to new construction homes.
Yes.
If you go in by yourself,
it's
to each his own. But if you go by yourself, you're then represented by the new home salesperson, which they work directly for the seller, who is the builder.
Yeah.
So, it's just kind of like when you go, let's just say you're in trouble with the law and you're going to court, right? And
going with those.
You want your own attorney when you're at trial.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want the defendant, the city, like you don't want the same person representing both people. Basically, you want your own attorney. So when you are going to a new construction community, you always want to go with your own representation to have someone on your side. So that is key, and know that someone that knows the process, knows what they're doing, and knows how to get a good deal.
Okay. Your mind is on criminal stuff
today. Yeah.
That.
It's been a fun 2025.
It's 2024.
It's 2025.
Oh.
Where have you been?
Well, it's the second day. Relax.
Yeah, it is January 2nd, 2025 when we shot this video. Just FYI.
2 days in. Sorry, I'm still in 2024.
But no, guys, I know this was a lot of information, and there's still a ton more information about new construction homes. I am actually building out a new construction home guide. So if that's something you guys are interested in, just drop a comment, message us, whatever that is, and I'll have that out to you guys as soon as we're done completing it. But I think there's a lot more information to go over to help protect you guys, because at the end of the day, it's all about protecting you and making sure you guys are getting the best product, best deal, best house. And that's what we're here for. So if you guys have any questions, want to reach out to us, all our information is below. We would love for you guys to reach out. Love to help you guys out.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.